Maybe we see Papelbon get an inning, but they wanted Beckett to finish this thing off tonight. And, it's in the first game of a playoff, you would expect that maybe he might be nervous, as everybody is. But he didn't look nervous at all in this ball game tonight from the first pitch of the ball game. And he was just in total control and command all night long, making pitches where he wanted to make them. Got a lot of swing and misses, got a lot of strikeouts, mixed his pitches up. He had a changeup that was anywhere from 88 to 91 miles an hour. And, he actually got away with a curveball there that stayed inside. But not many mistakes at all in this game. And even when he made a mistake, which were very few, the Angels didn't hit it.
When you make a mistake, you look at the Angels, they capitalize on it, but tonight, they didn't do that. And so he had everything going for himself tonight. And of course, the Red Sox had timely hitting, too.
Well, they did that, and we're going to look at that in a moment. Right now, it's all about Josh Beckett. A 4-hit, complete game shutout as the Red Sox get the 5th playoff shutout in team history, in the first since a team effort in Game 4 of the 2004 World Series when Derek Lowe, Bronson Arroyo, Alan Embry, and Keith Folk all got together for the shutout. That's really the impressive thing here, is that he finished the job himself. Usually there's just no need to make a guy go deep, but he had such a low pitch count, there was no reason to bring him out of the game.
Yeah, I guess you're right, and the way he was pitching, he didn't have to come out of the game. The only reason I thought he may come out of the game is they might want to get an inning for somebody else with all these off days that they've had, and they're going to have another one tomorrow. But I guess, when you're having a game like Beckett's having right there, just roll with it, because at some point during the series, you may need these other guys more than you would hope. So get the 9 innings out of him tonight. It was just a perfect, beautiful performance by him tonight. It was one of the best, I thought, of the year.
And something we talked about at the pregame show, trying to get to John Lackey early. Well, maybe there were still some doubts about his confidence at Fenway Park. Kevin Youkilis does it in the first inning. Just crushed the fastball up into the monster seats, 1-0 Sox.
Yes, I think Kevin probably went back and looked at this series that he had against him the last time. And he didn't really change anything as far as Lackey. Lackey went with his breaking ball and tried to set the guys up the same way, because he was successful the last time here. Not necessarily winning, but he was successful pitching against some of the guys. But still, you go back and I hate to talk about Josh Beckett. Today he was very cool and calm. I saw him in the clubhouse. And when you got a guy like that facing Lackey, you see it's a battle between both of them. One who make the least amount of mistakes are going to win the ball game.
Well, Youkilis, certainly, if that was a mistake, he took advantage of it, because Kevin Youkilis, we forget, and Tina Cervasio interviewed him in the pregame show, just 2 at-bats back in '04 when he came into the LCS. This guy he's been around for a while now, but he hasn't had a lot of playoff experience, but he got that experience tonight.
Well, and the good thing, Tom, is the fact that, he's had this bad hand, and we've noticed at the end of the season, a lot of the swings that he was taking, Jim, you could see that was still hurting him, and I think the rest of the last couple of days has helped him. Tina said before the game he felt much better, probably the best since he's been hit, and he showed that tonight with that home run. Ball down and in, and he's able to get to it, turn it around for the home run. So, and Lackey, on the other hand, as we look at the pitch right here, ball inside, and he's able to turn on it for the home run. Now, this is something that maybe 4 or 5 days ago he couldn't do because of the bad hand. You're getting back to Lackey for a second, the fact that, he came out in the first few innings and pitched like he was afraid of Fenway Park, just like, the bad success he's had it all season long. But then he did settle down. He pitched 3 very good innings after that. But the Red Sox got to him early. They got to the lead. And, of course, Beckett never gave the Angels a chance to get that running game going tonight because they didn't have any base runners.
Well, and in fact, the Red Sox were the team running on the base a little bit.
And they had one steal that was called out.
Absolutely right. Julio Lugo was called out, and there's no way he was out as the Red Sox tried to take a page out of the Angels' book tonight and get a little speed going. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll get all the press conferences for you and a whole lot more as Jim, Jerry, and I wrap up Game 1 from Fenway Park. Red Sox put 3 up in the board in the 3rd inning. We'll take a look at that, including a 2-run shot from Big Papi. Game 1 goes to the Sox, a 4-0 win on a complete game. 4-hit shutout from Josh Beckett.
I win. Yeah! I win! I win! I am a winner! I'm a winner.
There's a better place to play.
I'm a winner.
Foxwoods Resort Casino, home of the only poker room in New England. Check out the action at foxwoods.com.
Nope.
Sorry.
I gotta get some paper. Door. Cool. Retro.
Who was that dude?
WBMason.com.
As you know, it doesn't cost much to get a AAA card, but you probably didn't know just how much that little card can save you, like 15% off at New York & Company. AAA members save 6% on Dell computers and electronics. And you can take advantage of member savings on AAA batteries. In fact, you can save at over 150,000 merchants nationwide. Go to AAA.com/save for a full list of savings. Start saving with your AAA card today.
Reading or watching TV on a flatbed is a pain in the neck. With My Power Bob, you can raise your head and feet with individual control and massage. I sleep on a Power Bob with Bobopedic for one reason only: pure comfort. Why pay thousands more for a Craftmatic when My Power Bob complete with Bobopedic is only $19.99? Buy it online at mybobs.com or in person at any of my stores.
Josh Beckett getting the 5th Red Sox playoff shutout since 1967, and he did it in impressive fashion. A 4-hit complete game shutout against the Wind. Let's hear from his manager, Terry Francona.
Roger? Roger?
Thanks. I noticed that you had guys up in the bullpen at the end, but I mean, was there any dialogue in the dugout at all between you and Josh about the 9th?
No, rarely do I go to a pitcher during the game. I mean, John Farrell will have a way of making sure that if we think a guy's okay, that he thinks he's okay. We don't want to get in the way of, what they're doing, but body language, and again, John knows how to communicate with the pitchers on whether we feel they have something left, but just making sure that they feel they have something left. I thought it was pretty obvious he was fine.
Okay, Jimmy, behind you.
If you could just speak generally about Josh's performance tonight.
Well, I think you guys don't need to talk to me tonight. Just talk to Josh. I mean, he went out there and executed his pitches, in my opinion, probably better than he has at any point in the season. He attacked the strike zone with all of his pitches, cut his fastball at times. He pounded the strike zone with 3 great pitches. They're very aggressive. We've been over that. He threw first pitch strikes, but he kept it out of the middle of the plate. That was a great performance.
Just follow up. What did you think of his demeanor out there? I mean, he's obviously familiar with big games and things.
Yeah, and I think he acted like it too. He was in control of himself, of the game. He's a very emotional guy, but no, his pace of the game, his got in a groove. I think he retired maybe 19 at one point. He worked quick, stayed with all his pitches. No, he was good.
A couple more, okay, over here.
Terry, in any sport, there are guys who seem to be at their best in the most difficult and pressure-packed situations. Clearly, Beckett has proven that. Ortiz would be another one. What is there about guys like that they seem to rise to the occasion so consistently?
Well, I hope that continues, but I actually think our whole ball club tonight, I mean, we played a real crisp game, facing one of the better pitchers in the league. I don't think we left the strike zone tonight one time swinging at a pitch. And when he came in the strike zone, we did enough. And you got us on the board. David takes a great swing. But as good as, he's got enough velocity with a breaking ball that can come in and out of the zone, we never left the zone. And really, again, you can get a little keyed up in games like tonight, and our guys really took a professional approach.
Okay, Terry, we got Kevin Youkilis waiting, so I'm just going to take 2 more.
I'll be happy to go.
Roger? Okay, take the mic.
I know that Uke had some issues with the wrist during the last couple of weeks of the season. The home run, can you describe a little bit about how he was doing with the wrist lately and what you saw in the home run?
The one good thing for us the past week or so has been he's been hitting a lot extra on the days off. So you can kind of tell just by watching if guys are shying away from hitting and trying to rest it. When he first came back, he went through some fatigue with it. And I'm sure it's not 100%, but took some pretty good swings. I just thought watching him this past week, the more he was hitting was a good sign.
One more if there's anything. Okay, thank
Oh, an easy night for Terry Francona. They'll let him off the hook nice and easy tonight. Not such an easy night for John Lackey, although, as you said, he really settled down well after. But those first few innings, like you said, pitching like a guy who wasn't comfortable, pitching like a guy who doesn't have confidence that he can get the job done at Fenway.
Well, Tom, in my mind, you know, when you have a problem pitching in a place or hitting in a place, that's in your mind before you go into the game. Then you have to prove to yourself at some point during that game that, you know, I can find it. And he did tonight. He found it the last 3 innings that he pitched, but it was too late. He made some mistakes in that 3rd inning in particular. He hung a couple of curveballs, one to Youkilis. He hung another one, not a hanger, but a curveball down and into David Ortiz that he was able to hit for the home run. And, you know, those are mistakes that you just can't make. That's the hanger there to Kevin Youkilis that he takes down that third base line. It's a good sign for Youkilis being able to pull that ball. And then, of course, David Ortiz after that, you see location that just stays inside. I mean, that's not where he wants to leave the breaking ball to a right-handed hitter. And, of course, Ortiz, that's a sweet spot for a lefty, a breaking ball down and in, but over the plate. If it's down and in off the plate, it comes a blind spot, but that ball's right out over the plate, as you can see right there. And David Ortiz will not miss many of those. And, of course, that's when he hit the home run. But after that, you know, after that 1 inning, Lackey was pretty good. So, but I really think, you know, when you're in those situations, Jim, where places you don't pitch well, you don't play well, you don't hit well, it's in your mind going into the game, and it might have been early in the ballgame for him.
I agree. A couple of ballparks I didn't enjoy hitting it. It was just in your mind because I knew I could hit. But just having that confidence, I just didn't like certain ballparks. And, of course, by coming here to Fenway Park and you haven't been successful, this ballpark intimidates a lot of pitchers. And he's one of them.
Yeah, no question about that. And if you look at today's numbers combined with his regular season, and you can see his postseason numbers tonight against the Red Sox. If you include tonight's game, he has just had brutal numbers at Fenway Park. He's now 1-5 if you include the playoff game tonight, and has given up 33 runs in 40 innings of work. And that's a guy who has been an ace, a top of the rotation guy against everybody else.
Well, that's a problem for the Angels. I mean, if you're hooked up with the Red Sox and it's a team that does a lot of damage against you and your ace can't beat them, you got big problems.
And you know you're coming back with them in Game 4. Now, it'll be out in Anaheim, obviously, and he's got some confidence maybe off those final 3 innings, which were much better. But the Red Sox have to feel they can beat this guy if they face him again.
Yeah, I think they're very comfortable. And Francona said in his press conference, too, they didn't help him out at all. You know, and again, that goes back to Game 1 nerves. You know, are you swinging at bad pitches? No, they didn't swing at any bad pitches tonight. Anything that was off the plate, they let go. And, you know, so they were very disciplined at the plate against him. I just think the Red Sox feel very comfortable against Lackey. I don't think there's anything that he throws that creates a major problem for Red Sox hitters, you know, whether it be his curveball, his fastball. We didn't see too many changeups from him tonight, but I just think they're very comfortable against him.
Even the Lowell RBI in the 3rd inning, which was a pretty good breaking ball. That was a good bit of hitting. He went down and got it, but that breaking ball just didn't seem to baffle anybody tonight, Jim. It almost looked like they were sitting on it.
Good hitters are going to make some kind of adjustment. Even if you are a great pitcher and you making changes, the hitter's going to make a change too, because no one wants to embarrass each other. But when you're out there and you make a hanger, we consider that a breaking ball can go a long way. It's just like a fastball, just sit there and spin. And when you got good hitters up there, they miss with that breaking ball, it's going to go a long way.
You know, getting back to that Mike Lowell at bat, that's the difference between Mike Lowell this year and Mike Lowell last year. That same pitch last year, Mike Lowell probably would have tried to pull it. Instead, this year, he just makes contact. Remember, his strikeout numbers are way down. He's getting some hits to center field and to the opposite field. He took a pretty good curveball and just shot it up the middle for the base hit. Now, where a year ago, he may have tried to pull that ball, and it might have been a rollover ground ball to shortstop instead of thinking up the middle the other way, which he's done all year long, especially with 2 strikes on him. So he hits a good pitch, and that's demoralizing for Lackey for that to happen.
Especially with already 2 on the board that inning, and then you end up making it a big inning. Michael, 120 RBI during the regular season, 1 in Game 1 tonight. It was the 4th and final run of the game. No scoring after the 3rd inning here, as the 2 teams settled down into pretty good pitching after that. But the Red Sox get the run in the 1st on the Youkilis home run, add 3 in the 3rd. They win this one 4-0. We'll hear from Kevin Youkilis, who had his first major league postseason hit. And it was one to remember. It happened in the 1st inning. It was the home run that got the scoring going. Sox win it 4-0.
Ah, another day in Masonville, where the friendly office supply folks from WB Mason give you your own local service team. Yes, your own driver, sales rep, and service person who know you and your business. Well, over in Office Superstore land,
You shipped that order? Ask him.
No, him.
What order?
you get excuses. Now, any questions?
Who are those wonderful people?
Who but WB Mason?
All right, guys, let's see some hustle. You are all winners. Anderson.
What?
Jump over there and get the ball.
That's insane.
Here, take this.
Knowing you're always protected. That's the power of Fallon Community Health Plan.
Hey, Anderson, keep the card.
The nation unites at Soxheads.com, the only social networking website dedicated to the Sox. Keep up to date with the latest news and rumors and enter daily contests where you can win signed Red Sox memorabilia, iPods, and much more. There's blogs, videos, unlimited photo galleries, and game time chat. Join the Dream Team Challenge and find out where to eat and stay when you follow the Sox on the road. It's all right here. The nation awaits your arrival. So join now. Membership is free, only at Soxheads.com.
Extra Innings is brought to you by WB Mason and their new What a Bargain Super Clearance Center, where you can save up to 75% on office furniture and equipment. Located at 647 Summer Street in Boston, across from the Boston Athletic Center.
And what a night. Kevin Youkilis had a 2-for-4 night, had a .313 average against the Angels during the regular season. Back in the number 2 hole, Red Sox back with their normal lineup tonight and got the job done. Let's hear from Uke after the game.
For me, I was just looking for, basically in the first bat, I was just trying to look for, the sinker and react to the curveball. And, I got a good pitch, a good fastball to hit, and just took advantage of it and tried to take a good swing at it. Didn't try to do too much, and luckily I got a good result out of it, and was very happy that it got out, because it was definitely left center field here sometimes is very tough to hit it out, and to get it up there it felt really good. And then in my second at bat, he threw me a couple curveballs, and 2-1 I was just basically telling myself, hey, look fastball and try to sit back. If he throws a curveball, try to take a good hack at it.
Sean, you had something else?
Is it a good sign concerning your wrist that you were able to pull the ball hard like that first 2 against a guy who throws pretty hard?
Yeah, it's definitely it's felt a lot better as the days have progressed, and I feel like I'm progressing well. And I think the biggest thing is the wrist doesn't hurt as much now. It's kind of like moving into other parts of your body, and I think the biggest thing is our training staff's done a great job of helping me out and get me ready for each game, and I feel good. And I think the best thing about it is playoff time, and adrenaline helps the most.
Bob?
Okay, from your defensive vantage point, did you see early on, did you think Josh might have a special thing going?
I think every time Josh takes the ball, we feel like he has something special going. I think he has such great stuff, and he pitches so well here at Fenway Park, and he thrives off the fans. And I think every time he touches the ball, we know something good can happen. And with his past history, we feel real confident that he's going to pitch a great game, and he went out there today and couldn't pitch much better.
Steve?
Kevin, was there any change in his demeanor from games during the regular season? I'm talking about Josh Beckett, between innings, the way he was in the dugout, that set apart his performance tonight from the regular season?
I don't think Josh changes his demeanor at all. I think from day one of spring training to now, I think every day he goes out there, gives it 100%, and he's hard on himself, and he feels that he should be perfect out there. And I think that's one of his, the thing that helps him out most is he goes out there and thinks he should beat every hitter and should pitch 9 innings, and he loves to compete, and we're fortunate to have Josh to do that every day. And I think he takes it, and it hasn't changed in the postseason. That's a good sign.
Over here, Kevin.
When guys are pitching really well, like a no-hitter, and things are really rolling, the players seem to sort of let him do his thing in the dugout. What kind of dialogue, if any, was there during this game with Josh?
Well, Josh likes to talk on the bench. He likes to communicate with the team. He's not one of those pitchers that wants to be left alone and off to the side. I think Josh, he sits down at the end, but he definitely likes to communicate and talk and enjoy the game, and sometimes joke around about, he always if a guy gets a hit, he says how bad he did or something. But how do I throw that pitch right there in that spot? But it's great. Yeah, that's part of his competitive nature, and I think you know, he enjoys competing out there, and especially in the playoffs, I think he steps it up a little bit too.
You hit a home run in the first inning. David Ortiz hit a homer in the third. Big Poppy just sat down at the podium. Let's listen in live.
He was right on. I mean, that's the Beckett everybody know that he's capable to do things during the game.
Michael?
How big was it for Euclid's home run to put you guys up on top quickly?
Great. I mean, everybody knows that Euclid, he's been doing a great job for this ball club through the season. Everybody know that when he went on DL, or not on DL, when he was injured, we made his bat, he's different. You know, everything that he put together for this team during this regular season.
David, you have come through so often in clutch situations. Do you concentrate more? Do you feel differently in big games or key at bats, or is it always the same?
I don't know. I think I get prepared to play the game, and I'm the kind of guy that I try to give everything I have, and you know, I know this team count with myself a lot, and a lot of guys count with me and watch how I do things, and take a lot of responsibility for whatever is happening around here. And like I say, you know, it's a game that you play in a short series, and you got to make sure that whatever you can get, you get it. Otherwise, sometimes it turns to be kind of late.
Jackie?
The guys in the clubhouse were saying they can tell you're feeling better because you're more animated and that you wear your emotions on your sleeve. Can you talk a little bit about that? The guys, you know, they're gauging your temperature as you walk in every day, right?
Yeah, definitely. I like you guys know, I had the cortisone shot the other day, and it make a big difference. I mean, my knees been feeling way better than what it was. I was really sore way before I get it, and I was a little afraid because a big old needle coming through your knee, it's not fun to see. But the pain, I've been going, thanks God, and it's not easy to play through pain.
Yes, Roger.
Euclid was in here and he said that he feels like people have been very tough on you this season, that they haven't really appreciated some of the things that you've done. Do you feel like people have been tough on you? How do you feel about that assessment?
I won't call it tough. It seems like, you know, people are just kind of used to see you coming through every at bat, coming and doing some damage. And the same people that watch the game every day, they never sit down and analyze that this is not an easy game to play. It's not like a Nintendo game that you can sit down and just hit a home run or hit a double or get a hit whenever, you know what I mean? There are guys out there pitching and trying to make a living out of it. So it's not like they're going to make it easy on you. I think pitchers this year, they were very careful, especially with my history. And I mean, that's how the games go. And everybody just think about, oh, Papi should hit a homer right here. Papi should do this. Papi should do that. Papi's not the only player here. He's just one of the players that wanna have good things happen. And I put myself together to get it done, and people should understand that sometimes.
John, in the back there. No more? Bob?
Who that you face has anything like the same equipment that Josh has? The fastball, the curve, the change, the degree that he had it tonight. Is anybody you think reminded you of tonight?
In the league?
Yeah.
This year?
Or wherever.
I'll tell you, I think Hernandez for Seattle, he can get to be that good, you know, through the years, because he's like the young Josh Beckett, but he don't have the experience that Josh have right now. He had the arm, he had the stuff. I would say AJ Burnett for the Blue Jays, same thing. Power pitcher, good breaking ball, and good stuff, but they don't have the focus that Josh have right now. Whenever those guys, I think AJ Burnett, he and Josh, they're kind of right there. You know, there's game that he come in and he blow everybody off, but you know he been having a lot of injuries, and I guess that's why he's on and off a lot. But they pretty much the same kind of pitcher, And Hernandez, whenever he learned through the years, you know, he'd be just like that.
Of course, A.J. Burnett and Josh Beckett together down in Florida all those times. And Beckett has the arm, Beckett has the stuff, but Poppy's got the hat. I'm not sure if anybody else would want the hat.
Interesting line of questioning, I thought there. You know, nobody mentioned the hat. Where did you get that?
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, about the cortisone shot, you know, it's a true story. Earlier in the season, he had a bad shoulder. He would refuse. He was afraid to take a cortisone shot. He would not take it. And the Red Sox were begging him to do so, and he was afraid of it. Scaly, deadly afraid of getting a cortisone shot. I never got one. Finally, he takes one on his knee, and he realizes it's not that bad a thing, and it makes you feel better. So that certainly has helped him.
And it speaks to just how bad the knee must have felt if he finally gave in to getting that shot.
Yeah.
If you've ever had one, it's a long needle.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt, Tom. You take them all the time.
All the time.
That's not true. One thing, the hat, Halloween's coming up. I agree with him 100%. I hate needles too, dental appointments, and I had my knee drained. Needles hurt. And of course, he had a good answer. I'm not the only player on this team. I'm just Big Poppy.
That's right. Poppy's not the only player on this
And
team.
the other thing, too, I was wondering where, you know, who's questioning him. He had one of the better years he's had with the Red Sox.
Right.
Sure, the home run numbers were down for a lot of different reasons. First of all, when you hit 50-some home runs in a season, you're going to get pitched differently the next year. The fact is, too, also, he's been hurt a lot of the year. You know, there was times beginning of the season where it was all upper body swings for him. He couldn't use his legs at all. And then when his knee and the back and the hamstring and all that stuff started to feel better, he started driving the ball better. But, I mean, you look at the batting average, the walks, the on-base percentage, the home runs, the RBIs. I think it's one of the best seasons he's had in a Red Sox uniform.
I agree, but, you know, like the 51 home runs, this made him go to another level. And like you said, pitchers are out there making a living just like that. They're trying to get me out, and they are getting me out. They're not pitching to me. So there you go.
Well, the 54 last year went down to 35 this year, but the average, like you said, up to 332. It led the league in on-base percentage. You can't complain about what David Ortiz did this year. And he did it for a month without Manny behind him.
Right, and when you're in a stretch like that where you're trying to hit home runs like he was trying to do last year to break records, obviously your average goes down because every time you go to the plate, you're trying to hit a home run.
I don't know why I'm thinking about 51, but it's 54. But anyway, when you talk about David Ortiz, his job is just go up there and just try to make contact in your home. Like I said, Rim, you know for yourself, home runs are going to come on your mistakes. And like I said, like it through a pitch down and out over the plate. He didn't get the ball in, and that's what a power hitter is going to do. But other guys have been able to been able to get that ball down and in, and that's where the production is down. The 54 is not there, but I take the 30 plus.
Well, there's no question David Ortiz tonight, he had the couple of hits. Manny had a hit behind him. You get 2 hits before. And so we talked about what the heart of this order can do against Lackey, and they were able to string it together in the 3rd inning, and that really was the game tonight with how well Beckett was pitching. He needed that 1 inning to get a few runs. They did it, and they win the game.
Well, you look at Big Poppy, Manny sort of like in the middle, but still you had Lowell to come through. So now it's going to be, when Manny put his stuff together, what you got to do with Euclid. You got to deal with Manny or Ortiz or flip-flop, and then you got to deal with Lowell. So it's going to be pretty strong down there.
Now it gets interesting. The Angels have never seen Daisuke Matsuzaka. The Red Sox this year did not see Kelvin Escobar. We will preview that in a little bit. First, our WB Mason delivery of the game, an easy one tonight. It was all about Josh Beckett. His first postseason start in a Red Sox uniform, and he goes the distance. 108 pitches, he gives up 4 hits, didn't walk a batter, and he struck out 8. A complete game, 4-hit shutout Red Sox win. 4-0 the final.
Get ready. Get ready. Yeah, get ready. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Since my big brother Powerball came to Maine, some of you might be a bit confused about which game to buy. Well, he may be bigger, but I move fast. I'm easier to win, and I am a lot of fun. And he's just big. He does make a good argument, too. Whoa, so just buy both.
We're in an emergency situation. We don't have extra. We have a little bit of water and a little bit of food. A meeting place, no.
No. For the family to meet?
No.
Sometimes I feel the world is mine. I go just where the sun shines. I tell the stories and share happy endings. I just like something to do. There's a
I think he's just he loves the big stage. He loves to go out there and perform at that level, and he's having a lot of fun with it. So it's fun to watch.
How impressive was Beckett just to completely take the Angels out of their style of baseball?
That's exactly what he did. You know, he mixed his pitches up well. He pitched, you know, effectively. Didn't let those guys get on base, which I think kind of helped him to just kind of pitch his game. Worked out great for him.
What can a complete game shutout do for you guys just to start off the postseason like this?
I think it's fun. I think everybody's excited for Beckett to come out there and pitch the way he did. We gave him some runs to back him up. It was fun to watch.
You know, it's a great point Tina brought up there. Take the Angels out of their game. We talked so much about their speed, and we said two things needed to happen. A, Sox needed to get up early, and they did. B, if nobody's on base, you can't steal first. And he stranded Figgins on third base in the first inning. Didn't have another runner in scoring position until the 8th.
And didn't walk anybody.
Didn't walk anybody.
Didn't give him a chance to even get going tonight, because in a 4-0 game, this team is still going to run. They're still going to do a lot of different things. But he just didn't give him an opportunity. He didn't give them any hits. He didn't walk anybody. They were completely overmatched in this ball game tonight by Josh Beckett.
Kind of easy to say on a night when they're getting handcuffed by Beckett, but they really miss Gary Matthews. I mean, this lineup is not the same without him.
No, it's not. But Gary Matthews, even tonight against Josh Beckett, wouldn't have made a difference. In the series, it's going to make a difference, I think, because when you look at the lineup the Angels are putting out there now, and they're talking about if we got to get Guerrero back in right field, what are they going to? I mean, who's going to add the thumb? Rivera? I mean, it's not going to be that big of a difference, I don't think. And I think they really miss Matthews, but I don't think in this game tonight it would have made much of a difference, because I think the way Beckett was throwing in this game tonight, Matthews probably would have had the same results as most of the other guys.
It's just 4 hits for the Angels on the night against Josh Beckett, as he was outstanding. You see, Vladdy Guerrero had a couple of hits. One at the top of the order, the leadoff batter of the game. Sean Figgins had a hit. Never scored, obviously. They stranded him at third, and then Howie Kendrick later in the game had a base hit that came in the 8th inning. But as Jerry just said, it doesn't matter who's in this lineup tonight. The way Beckett was pitching, he was going to be tough to hit for anybody.
I agree with you 100%. You keep those guys off the bags that can run. You try not to walk anyone, because that's almost like giving them the 4th out, and then you give them an opportunity to hit the ball to the right side, to go from first to third, to put you in a stretch situation, because you don't want to get in a stretch situation with those guys out there.
Let's take a look at a couple of strikeouts here. 6th inning, he came out. The first 6 pitches of the game, he recorded 2 strikeouts. The first 6 pitches of that 6th inning, recorded 2 strikeouts against Napoli, and then Willits coming up and just baffling him. I mean, we know he's got the velocity, Jerry, but the biggest difference this year, he mixes everything else and he baffles him.
Well, yeah, he starts him off with a high fastball, then a fastball again down the middle that he fouls off, and he throws that nasty hook on him. And of course, had no chance at all for Napoli. Now you got Willits up there, who's going to try to bunt, fakes a bunt, takes a strike. There's the curveball again, and he's able to keep down a good shot-breaking curveball in the same spot, almost the same spot, except a little bit further away that time. And that with down by a couple of strikes, you've got to swing at that pitch, and he had no chance at it. So, in a matter of 6 pitches, he has 2 strikeouts, and they really, I mean, when you stay ahead of hitters like he did all night long, then you can get in the chase curveballs like that last one that Willits had to chase for strike 3. You got to go after it. So
not quite like Greg Maddux, but he got ahead of guys early with that first strike, and it's such an advantage for the pitcher, Jim. He seemed like he was 0-1 on just about every batter he faced.
Yes, he had a good fastball as all can ball, because he had a yellow hammer. So he had his good breaking ball tonight, and I guess it's more just Beckett's demeanor tonight, that he went out there and said, look, I just got to do my thing. And I won 20 games. And how did I win 20 games? I won 20 games because I pitched pretty good and the team stood behind me.
He has never come off mark all season long. From day 1 in spring training to this game tonight, he has never come off mark. No matter what the score of the game has been, if he's had a big lead, he's stayed the same pitcher. He uses his fastball, he uses his curveball, his changeup, his sinking fastball, which is about 93 miles an hour, and then occasionally a little bit of a cutter. But he has never changed that plan. He's never gone back to trying to throw every fastball by somebody. He's always mixed his pitches up.
And you look at the one number, regular season, 36 home runs given up last year, 17 this year, almost cut him in half. And that's because he's not going fastball hard, harder, hardest every time he gets in trouble. Not much trouble tonight, though. The Red Sox cruise to a Game 1 victory, 4-0 the final score.
Best of 3.
Dream on.
The feeling of security you want in your life. That's the power of Fallon Community Health Plan.
You used the card.
No.
Cheater.
Mr. Francona, what do you look for in a player?
5 tools: speed, throwing, playing the field, hitting for average, and power.
I can hit for power. Wow, I hit over the Sullivan Tire sign.
You drove it out of the whole ballpark.
At Sullivan Tire, we're always here to get you there.
You always get me there, Paul.
October's in the air.
So you like pennant race baseball or what?
All the heart and soul has paid off.
Diamondbacks of the Western Division, champions of the Central. The Phillies have won it.
The NL Division Series is here. The Padres, Arizona, the Cubs, the Phillies. They are psyched and ready.
How great is this?
Let the postseason begin.
They're going crazy. What a finish.
There's only one postseason. There's only one Fall Classic. There's only one October.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Tappan over here in our Sports Desk studio. Coming up on tonight's show, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bath Centers. In addition to full coverage of the Sox, Rodney Harrison returns from his suspension. We'll hear from him and his teammates, plus highlights from the National League as we keep a close eye on the playoffs. And the Bruins open up their season on Friday night. We have a preview of what you can expect from the Black and Gold as they get set to take on the Stars in Dallas. I'll see you after the post game, but right now let's go back over to Tom Caron.
Catherine, thanks very much. Coming up next, Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra. We will look at that complete game shutout, get reaction in Terry's take, and hear from the pitcher as well. And we'll preview Game 2, Kelvin Escobar against Daisuke Matsuzaka. That's all coming up next. Stay with us.
The K&G 2 Suits for $150 event is on. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 2 selected men's suits for just $150. That's less than the price of one at a department store. K&G Fashion Superstore.
Ouch! That hurt.
It should. Just $7.99?
We'd be at least $16.99 at one of those hoity-toity stores.
You know I'm all about value.
We'd still be a steal at $12.99.
At my Bob's, you're just $7.99.
How about $9.99?
Nope, just $7.99.
At least we'll be in a nice home in no time.
You don't have to take Bob's word for it. Ask your friends and neighbors who've already bought here.
Hey, mister, you know the best way to get tickets?
Sure. You use this thing here called a telephone wire.
Gee, a telephone wire. How does that work?
Well, you pick up the phone, see? And you dial 1-800-MY-SEATS.
Yeah, but how do I know I'm getting the best seats?
At Ace Tickets, they always have the best seats at the best prices. Because when you call, they search through their high-tech database for the best seats and always at the best value. So call today. Operators are standing by.
It's Soxtober on NESN. Catch Sox in 2 replays of the season's best games and get expanded postseason coverage on NESN.com. Tune in, log on, play on. This Soxtober only on NESN.
Welcome back to our SNHD Television Center, everyone. Tom Caron with you here for Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra. The Red Sox back in the postseason for the first time in 2 years. They've also got a 20-game winner for the first time in 2 years, and that pitcher, Josh Beckett, on the mound for Game 1 today as he faced an Angels team that had very little success against him during the regular season in 2 Beckett starts. Very little success against him tonight. Meantime, John Lackey facing the Red Sox, and they've had plenty of success against him. Here in the first inning, Kevin Youkilis, his first major league postseason hit, and it's one to remember. Second batter of the game for the Sox sends it up into the monster seats, and just like that, it is a 1-0 lead for the Red Sox. They add to it in the third, a 3-run inning. David Ortiz hits that one around the pesky pole, a hanging breaking ball, and it's gone. A 2-run shot for Big Poppy with Uke aboard. Red Sox on top 3-0. And then Mike Lowell, who's an RBI machine during the regular season, reaches out and drives that one out to center field. Brings in a run, 4-0 the score as Manny comes across the plate. That's it for the scoring. And it was Josh Beckett the rest of the way. Beckett retires 19 in a row after giving off a leadoff single to Sean Figgins in the first. He winds up striking out 8 on the night. He didn't walk a batter. And he goes the distance. Thought we might see Jonathan Papelbon coming out just to get the work. Instead, Beckett comes out to finish the job himself. And he gets Garrett Anderson to fly out to center field to end it. 108 pitches for Josh Beckett, 8 strikeouts, a 4-hit complete game shutout. Red Sox win it by 4-0. They take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 American League Division Series. Couple of hits for Youkilis, couple more for Ortiz, and then solo hit nights for Ramirez, Lowell, Drew, Veritek, and Lugo. A 9-hit attack for the Red Sox tonight. More than enough offensive support for Josh Beckett. We told you the line. There you see it. Red Sox win 4-0, the final score tonight. Let's go back and hear from the manager. It's Terry's Take with Tina Savassi.
A dominant performance by Josh Beckett. Terry, he retired 19 batters at one point. How is he going about attacking batters?
He attacked the strike zone with all 3 of his pitches. He threw at times tonight a cutting fastball, with velocity. It's probably his best stuff of the year. I mean, all his pitches, his changeup, threw so many strikes and stayed out of the middle, and that was a dominant performance.
Talk about his command and seeing the best pitches. How important were first pitch strikes?
I mean, they're so aggressive, and he stayed ahead, but he stayed out of the middle, got some first pitch outs. They're so much of their game is getting on base and kind of causing havoc, and he just stayed within himself, and within himself is pretty good. It was a great outing.
A little challenge for you the end of the season was getting guys healthy, giving them rest when needed, but still winning games. How did that pay dividends with the way Kevin Youkilis and David Ortiz hit tonight?
Yeah, you gets us on the board, and then I thought our whole lineup, because their guy is so good, we didn't swing at any balls, and we stayed in the strike zone, and when he came in the strike zone, we took enough good swings to put 4 on the board. It's just so important. We stress not just patience, but when the guy comes in the zone, putting a good swing on, and we didn't leave the zone at all tonight.
Terry, thank you.
All right, 24 of 30 first pitch strikes for Josh Beckett tonight. That really kind of tells the story. He was ahead of guys all night long.
It's incredible. I mean, really, and as a hitter, when you're down 0-1, every time you go to the plate, you have no idea what to look for on the next pitch. And before when you're battling from behind the count against a guy that's got tremendous stuff like Josh Beckett has, you really don't have any chance. And I don't care what lineup he faced tonight, whether it be the New York Yankees or the Angels, they would have had problems with his stuff tonight.
I agree. Like I said, when you're throwing first pitch strikes, a hitter's already in the hole. He fouls one off. Now he's down, 2 strikes and no balls. So when you have the capacity, have the ability to be able to throw that this night, first pitch strike, you got the hitters in the hole.
You surprised they didn't get more aggressive? We didn't see him swinging a lot of first pitch strikes.
Yes and no. Against Beckett, the way he was striking out people and throwing strikes, you would think that maybe as the game went on, they try to swing in more first pitches. But, there's sometimes you're in that dugout and you come back after your first at bat and you go, man, he's got good stuff. You come back after the second at bat, you go, wow. And you come after the third, you're defeated. And I think that was the case tonight against the Angels. I think that's how their hitters felt. And you could kind of see as the at-bats were going on throughout the course of the game, they were not getting better. They were getting uglier. So, it's just, I'll tell you what, Tom, this is an easy game. It's an easy game to recap. Josh Beckett was great, and they got a couple of home runs.
A couple of runs early, and that was it. 22 innings now against the Angels for Beckett in 2007, 2 earned runs. Now we turn to Friday, Game 2 coming up from Fenway Park. Here's our night for you. Our Red Sox pregame coverage begins at 7. We go 7 to 8, then we hand it over to the Bruins for their pregame show. Bruins season opener at Dallas at 8:30. Bruins overtime at 11, followed by our baseball postgame coverage. Busy night for you here on NESN. 8:30 is the start of the Red Sox game. That's Game 2. We will hear from Game 1 winner Josh Beckett when we come back.
Hi, Dad. Did I miss anything? Should be starting any minute.
Granite City Electric. We do the lights for the Red Sox.
It's time to get in shape, and with the latest fitness equipment from Precision Fitness, you can look and feel great. Since 1988, New Englanders just like you have relied on Precision Fitness equipment. The staff at Precision Fitness will work closely with you to match the right equipment to your particular needs. With expert delivery and setup and award-winning service, it's easy to see why so many people turn to Precision Fitness equipment. Top pro athletes, leading health clubs, and hospitals rely on Precision Fitness equipment. Why not you? Precision Fitness equipment in Newton, Hanover, and Natick.
DinTrophy.com has all your trophy needs. Trophies, plaques, acrylics, hollowware, ribbons, pins, medals. DinTrophy.com offers the lowest prices and quick online ordering. It's fast, easy, and secure. We have a free shipping policy and next-day service. We're just a click away. DinTrophy.com. Serving New England for over 50 years, we are the Trophy People.
Extra Innings Extra is brought to you by Granite City Electric. Nobody knows lighting or electricians like Granite City Electric.
Two other series underway today. Colorado just keeps on rolling. They win game one 4-2. Last team to make it into the postseason, first team to win a game in the postseason. That game at Philadelphia, they'll be booing Santa Claus this winter for the Rockies. Sweep away the Phils, and the Cubs and Diamondbacks going to get started in just a couple of moments. Game one of that series out in Arizona. Meantime, game one goes to the Red Sox here. Let's hear from Josh Beckett.
Same as every time. You don't take it any differently. You just do the same exact thing you do every time. You don't change a lot of things just because now we're in the postseason. You do what made you successful to get here. I don't think changing a lot of things is the way to go.
Down here, Steve.
Josh, you're fond of saying that the past is past and you only worry about this game. Can you indulge us for a moment and in some fashion compare what you did tonight, what you did in 03 against the Yankees, how these two games are similar and not similar?
They're not similar. They're similar because of the results. I don't think, really anything else is similar. I think I got a lot of ground balls tonight. I got a lot of fly balls that night. It was a good game. Tech did an unbelievable job. I had some great defensive plays behind me. We got some timely hits.
There goes Figgins.
Sean.
Josh, 2 postseasons, have 3 shutouts. You have been teammates with 2 guys who have reputations as terrific postseason pitchers, Wells and Schilling now. What would it mean to be thought of by your peers to be in that class as a great postseason October pitcher who rises to the occasion?
I think that those are all things that you should worry about when you retire, not really worry too much about them. I know I always go back to just one pitch at a time, and that's what you do. And games like today, that's one thing that I can point out for myself that I did well. I never got ahead of myself. It was always one pitch at a time. It didn't matter what was going on. If they had a guy on third base or if they didn't have anybody out, you just go one pitch at a time. And I said they hit some balls at some guys, and I was fortunate.
Who else? John, way in the back there.
Josh, can you talk about what you had tonight and why were you so effective?
I was ahead of a lot of guys, and they got a lot of guys that are, those guys that foul a lot of pitches off, and I just didn't want to get wrapped up in trying to strike a lot of guys out, because those are the at bats that'll end up killing your pitch count, and you're out after 5 1/3 because you got 120 pitches, and I just, like I said, I just stuck with pitch to pitch and trying to get outs as quick as possible. And when you got a defense like I have, it's it's pretty easy to sit back and do that.
Sean again.
You talked about pitch count and keeping that down. You were disappointed in your last 2 wins in September to have long first innings where your pitch count got up early and you knew you might not be able to go past the 6th or 7th because of that. What did you do early to maybe be a little bit more aggressive and keep the pitch count down early in the game?
Well, I just think you go out there and you find out what kind of pitcher you are that day, and you just go from there and start getting into pitch by pitch execution, exploiting hitters' weaknesses, and like I said, it just ends up snowballing, and every inning you end up with a quicker inning because they know you're throwing strikes and they're up there swinging. You get a couple first pitch outs.
Okay. Mike in the back, way in the back.
Josh, what did it mean to you tonight to finish what you started?
I don't know. I mean, it's always great. You know, it's a really cool thing, you know, to be able to go out there and just be the only pitcher that pitches for your team that day. But if we had been up big or something, I'm sure I probably wouldn't have finished. I don't think that they really ever, after 8 innings, I don't think that they ever thought about taking me out. It was just one of those deals. It was kind of known throughout the dugout that I was going back out there.
I want to remind you, Sports Desk coming up right after our show here and continuing Red Sox coverage on Sports Desk. Josh Beckett will end up being the only Red Sox pitcher to pitch between Sunday and Friday. A strange schedule here with the day off tomorrow. Is this a bad thing? I mean, you would think you could almost have too much rest at this time of year.
I don't think so, because if the Red Sox are able to go deep into the playoffs, the schedule in a 4 out of 7 is going to be much more difficult than this first one. And of course, if you go on to the World Series, you're in the same situation. So I think that any time right now that you can get guys and give them some time off and not get them out there to pitch, it's going to. You don't want to go too long with that because then they get a little bit rusty. But this is a long playoff. I mean, and the first step is made. You got Beckett complete game. Didn't have to use anybody else out of the bullpen. That changes very quickly sometimes. The next game you could have Dice-K get knocked around a little bit early, and all of a sudden you're going through 5 guys. So you just don't know.
But it's very strange. The last few years, it always seemed it was a night game followed by a day game or something like that, and the first 2 games would be over quickly. Now you got a game, day off. Game, day off. They'll be able to use everybody. That's for sure, Jim.
If you win the first game, you want to play tomorrow. If you lose the first game, you want a day off. And so I think it's long, but that's the way the schedule is. You have to deal with it.
Yeah, both teams got to deal with it. There's nothing you can do about it, but it certainly is different this year. As you know, they stretch the playoffs into November if it goes Game 7 in the World Series. Go to Olympia Sports for the latest Major League Baseball playoff gear today. We will take a break, come back, and look at Game 2. Dice-K Matsuzaka on the mound.